Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration. And use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So let's get to the actual program. Mom Donnie, why is it inquiring minds want to know, why is it that the anti-Semitic folks just seem to gravitate towards you like a magnet? One of Mom Donnie's top aides forced to resign less than 24 hours on the job. Mom Donnie's team says they didn't know about her anti-Semitic tweets. Right. We believe you. Sure. Governor Hochul speaking out on the issue of anti-Semitism, declaring it will not be tolerated in New York State. This report on Mamdani and his aide from Melissa Russo of Channel 4 WNBC TV.
Just one day after being hired by Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, Catherine Almonte da Costa submitted her resignation within the past hour or so after anti-Semitic statements in old Twitter posts dating back to the year 2011 surfaced today.
In a statement released by the Mamdani transition this afternoon, da Costa said, "As the mother of two Jewish children, I deeply regret and apologize these tweets from well over a decade ago. These comments do not in any way, shape, or form reflect who I am or my views and beliefs today."
Mamdani transition sources telling me Mayor-elect Mamdani has accepted her resignation, and they say that the transition was unaware of the posts when they appointed her to that job yesterday. The messaging on this situation possibly especially important for Zohran Mamdani, who has repeatedly pledged to resist anti-Semitism as mayor.
So interesting. They just gravitate, the anti-Semitic folks, to Mayor-elect Mamdani. We'll circle back to that. 800-848-9222. As you know by now, it is a homeless man named John who helped move the Brown University shooting case forward after literally tracking the suspect, coming in contact, eye-to-eye contact, 2 hours before it happened. The details in this Fox News report.
Open by a homeless man who goes by John. Now, investigators say that he's a former Brown University student who grew suspicious of the gunman when he locked eyes with him in the bathroom just 2 hours before the shooting inside the Barris and Holly building. The gunman, his name is Claudio Neves Valente. Now, John, pictured here, is the man police were looking to speak to because of how close he got to that gunman. John said he followed Neves Valente out of the building before the shooting and played a game of cat and mouse in the neighborhood. Surveillance video shows Neves Valente running away from John. At one point, he stood just feet away from the gunman and questioned why he was circling the block. The gunman repeatedly responded, quote, "Why are you harassing me?" When police released images of the suspect after the shooting, John wrote an anonymous Reddit post describing seeing the gunman unlock a parked gray Nissan sedan with Florida plates he thought could be a rental. 3 days after the shooting, John anonymously called the police tip line and flagged his own Reddit post. On Wednesday, John walked up to police, revealed that he was the man police were looking for, that he was close to the gunman, and that the Reddit post came from him. Police used license plate readers to track the gray Nissan to an Alamo car rental center in Boston. They pulled surveillance images showing Nieves Valente, and they traced him to a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire, where he was found dead last night. Now, Nieves Valente was spotted in the Brown University building on November 28th. That's 2 weeks before the shooting. Last night, I asked investigators how it could be that a homeless man and not police noticed a suspicious person in that time.
Well, the Providence Police is obviously not going to patrol Barris and Holly. That's a question frankly, for Brown and their police department.
Why would a civilian observe that to be suspicious? It's a great point. And I like the fact that you're mentioning that and bringing that up. That's what we should all be doing, right? And it's just personality. Some people are more interested in finding out what others are doing. In this particular case, this person decided that he wanted to, and I'm glad he did.
A source tells Fox that John is a homeless man who actually lives in the basement of the Barris and Holly building. And while that brings up a whole slew of security questions, the reality is he's being treated as a hero.
So, and he is a hero. But think about that. A homeless man is sleeping in the basement of the building, of the academic building at an Ivy League institution. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. The Attorney General at the news conference last night and filed this under bizarre, says that the suspect, as he opened fire on the students, was making a barking noise.
And so that's why he followed him out. In terms of what was said, I don't know any more today than what I told you yesterday, or the day before. There are some witnesses who said he said nothing. There are some that say he made a barking noise. Don't ask me. I don't know why. And that's it. There is no other spoken word beyond that we are aware of, as we stand before you tonight. And we have spoken to everybody that we have been able to locate who's been inside that building.
And just to the special agent in charge, my follow.
And let's start with your telephone calls. Let's begin with Kenny, line 2, Staten Island. Kenny, happy holidays. What's on your mind?
Happy holidays, Dominic, to you and your family. I just want to make 2 points. I want to know, when Mamdani can't fulfill any of his promises, what is he going to do when all his gullible supporters turn their back on him and revolt against him? And another question for you specifically is, say in 4 years, how come you don't run for mayor? You have a brilliant mind and you would do so well for the city.
Well, let's deal with the reality. It doesn't really matter who turns their back on him, because once you're the mayor, you got the job, you got the platform. He's already got the international stage. So he wins no matter what. I've thought about public office, but I couldn't do it because I would literally tell the press corps one day, you can kiss my backside. And I wouldn't say backside. And so, but I would like to do it, though, to be honest with you, because I really think this is a candid moment. Deep down, I think I could be really good at doing it. Now, how do I define good? My message would be real simple to the city's minorities communities. You young kids, you act up. My police department's going to act up. If you think I'm playing, try me. Try these silly crimes. Try grabbing Jewish people by the neck. Try pushing people in front of trains and so on. And as far as the homeless, I would definitely end up in federal court because I would probably be sued every day. Every day. And my strategy would be real simple. I'll see you in court. To all you homeless advocates, I'll see you in federal court, and then I would say to Corporation Counsel, delay. And, but I do think, to be honest with you, Kenny, I think that I would be a very good politician. And, the only way I would do it, because I'm probably just going to ride off into the sunset, but the only way I would do it, because I don't do things, half, you know what. If I did it, I'm going in to win. And believe me, the establishment would take me very, very seriously because I would be able to resonate in the minority communities and I would be able to resonate mainstream. Thank you so much for the call and the compliment there, Kenny. Really appreciate it. Again, happy holidays to you and your family. Carlotta, line 3, Rhode Island. What's on your mind?
Hi. Projecting a few months out with these liberal, compassionate people, the homeless guy will have been evicted and have no place to live. He will never see a penny of that $50,000.
You think so?
And
why do you say that?
Because this is how the liberal mind works.
No, they're going to make a hero of this guy. They have no choice.
They have no choice. They'll make a hero of him for a few weeks. You know, they think in terms of it's not one specific person. It's the masses. What they're going to do for the masses. But when they
You're
come
right
up
about
against
that. You're right about that.
One real human being means nothing to them.
Well, I have to hope that you're wrong. If he's still homeless 6 months from now, it will be an indictment on Rhode Island. It will be an indictment on Brown University. So I just don't see that. I see a scenario where whatever support services he needs, they're going to make sure that he gets, and including a paid for home. They would have to be absolute fools for that man to remain homeless. I just don't see it.
Well, we know they're fools. Wait a minute. We know they are fools.
Yeah, but I mean fools. I mean fools politically. Nobody's that stupid. To leave the man homeless.
Talk to you next year, Dominic, and let's see how it works.
Okay,
out.
and you're right. So your hunch is that when the cameras are gone, that's what you're saying, that the liberals are going to do the, and we're going to be playing something in a few minutes. This student, Carlotta, up at Brown, and please tell me this is not right. The athletic director at Brown, according to this student, you're going to hear him testifying, makes $1 million a year. So you're telling me an athletic director making $1 million a year, a college president who couldn't answer the most simple question, making $3 million a year, and the man that brought all of this down in terms of the crime, that he's still going to be homeless? You really believe that?
Worse, yes. I believe he'll be in worse shape than when this all started.
Wow. Okay.
I have another thing I want to say on another point, sort of. This is going to make such a fascinating book for whoever jumps on it and writes this whole story. It's got so many elements.
Absolutely. And the reporters are probably on it pitching book deals right now. You have writers on it pitching book deals. You are correct about that. Thank you so much for the call. Folks, we're taking your live calls, 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And in our area, in New York, since what happened in Australia, not one but two anti-Semitic attacks. Governor Hochul speaking out, declaring it will not be tolerated.
Incidents of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia here at home are a reminder that hate is on the rise. As hard as it is to admit that, hate is on the rise. And I'll be clear, these acts of hate and discrimination and loathing for people who are different than themselves has no place in the great state of New York. We will not tolerate this. The safety of all New Yorkers is non-negotiable. And I'm going to continue to do everything I can in my power to bring down the temperature and call on people to respect each other, treat each other as you'd want to be treated yourself, and to end this inflaming of passions that occurs all the way from the White House on down.
Back to your live telephone calls on this Friday edition. Let's go to Steve, line 5, Farmingdale. Steve, what's on your mind?
Mr. Dominic, how are you? This is Steve from Farmingdale. First time caller. Love your show. I just had a comment about Mamdani. That person that he hired for the one day that he says he had to let go because of her remarks.
Technically, she was
for the one day.
Wait, say that again. Does she what? Get paid?
You think they're going to get? You think she's going to get paid for the 1 day of service?
I don't know what the legal requirement is.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah, I'm not good with jokes like that. But I hear you, Steve. Because I think it's despicable that she was appointed to the job to begin with. Let's put it to you this way. If I'm Mom Donnie, right? Dominic Carter's now Mom Donnie, and I hired someone that's going to embarrass me like that, not only is she gone, my chief of staff is probably gone already. Because if we're to believe that he didn't know, because what I really believe happened is that he knew, he was hoping that the public would not find out, because he wanted her for whatever reason. He likes her. And he wanted her in the administration. And then when it blew up in his face, politically, he had to walk away from it. But straight up, Steve, if I'm the mayor and something like that happens on my watch, she's not the only one walking the plank. My chief of staff, I would never trust again. It would be the end of our relationship. You know, but Mom Donnie is Mr. Slick. So, thank you so much for your, telephone call. Let's go to Pat in Brooklyn, line 1. Pat, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, how are you? Happy holidays.
Same to you and your family.
Thank you. You too. I just, what I wanted to talk about was, that, press conference in, Rhode Island there. I thought it was really kind of, like you said, DEI. And when I heard you talking about it the next day, I was like, Dominic, you're spot on. You get a lot of flack from people, but you always tell the truth. And I just wanted to put it out there. And I just want to wish you and your family happy holidays.
Thank you, Pat. If we're being honest about it, that news conference, it was DEI from start to finish. I'm told that the police chief at Brown University lost his job. I don't know how accurate this is, somewhere else, and then came to Brown. Then you talk about the president of Brown, and this lady didn't know anything. $3 million a year to be the president of Brown for that? I'm not even going to start with the police chief, right? And his nephew being a major drug dealer in Rhode Island. The whole thing is DEI Central. The whole thing is a mess.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And folks, it is here, coming up tomorrow, December 20th. It's home for the holidays with Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno. Get ready to slay your night away with live performances, ugly sweaters, and jolly friends. It's Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno, singing your holiday favorites live in concert tomorrow, December 20th. For more info and tickets, go to HomeForTheHolidays2025.com. It's Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno, live in concert. That's HomeForTheHolidays2025.com. Back to your calls, 800-848-9222. Lauren, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Lauren?
Dominic, building on a call from a gentleman earlier, I would like to ask for the address of where I can send my donation check for Dominic Carter for mayor. Don't laugh,
Lauren,
Dominic.
Lauren,
don't laugh.
Thank you for that, Lauren. No, I'd have to think seriously about that. But I can tell you, Lauren, seriously, all joking aside, if I ever decided to do something like that, right? And I probably wouldn't, but I guarantee you that if I ran, I'm going to win. I'm a winner. Yes. And that's what I do. I'm not getting in to be seen at a news conference or to be seen on a debate stage. No. If I do it, you can bet my life on it. I'm going to win. And so, but I don't know, Lauren, because, I don't know, because I'm telling you straight up, I gather the black leaders together and the Latino leaders together privately, and I would say, listen, and I'm cleaning up the language for you and for the audience. I would say the bull stops now. You better tell these kids that I'm not playing with them. There will be no more drag racing in New York City. I would inform my police commissioner. If I happen to, because I would do exactly what Giuliani did. In the middle of the night, and with my police detail as little as possible, Giuliani used to tour around Harlem at midnight with just one or two detectives in the car, which is generally a no-no for the security detail. But he wanted it to be kept on the low. And so what I've learned from Giuliani is that if I decided to do this, I would put in 20 hours a day. You would never hear me say my city. You would always see me there when someone is an innocent bystander is shot. I would back the police, not 99% of the time, 1,000% of the time. I would back my police officers. And why? Because they put their lives on the line each and every day. And until I found out something different, they would have my full support. So I would very much be in the tradition of Giuliani, but I would go even further, frankly speaking, Lauren, as a black man, because I would have the luxury of putting these black kids in check. If I found out about drag racing, if I went out at midnight or 5 p.m. and I'm, as little police protection as possible, and I see homeless people on the highway, begging for money, the police commissioner's got a problem. Because I'm going to call the commissioner. I would probably go through 2, 3, or 4 police commissioners. Because if I drove through and saw any homeless person panhandling on the highway, Houston, we got a problem. So Lauren, thank you for that wonderful call. I probably wouldn't do it. But Lauren, I'm telling you that should I decide to do it, you can bet your bottom dollar on it that I'm going to win. I wouldn't get in this to just go, oh, look at me on a debate stage. Look at me. No. That's not me. But thank you very much for your call. Folks, I want you to hear this before we continue with our next calls. This is a student at Brown University. Now, I want you to really listen to what this young man says because it's deep, right? He acknowledges that he is born on third base in life. But boy, is he taking Brown University to task. He's testifying at a hearing. Just do me a favor. Listen to this young man, his testimony, if you will, and how he's putting Brown University in deep check.
My name's Alex Shea, and I'm a rising junior at Brown University, one of the most exclusive institutions in the world. But I'm not here to glorify the Ivy League. I'm here to warn you that the promise of American higher education, of opportunity through meritocracy, is under attack. I'm a legacy student at Brown. I went to a prep school that feeds to the Ivy League, and my parents are doctors who can afford the $93,000 a year sticker price. In other words, I'm exactly who the Ivy League was built for. But what about the kids who weren't born on third base? Statistically speaking, for a smart kid from a poor family, an Ivy League degree can power their ascent to the upper income brackets better than anything else. That's the American dream. But today, that dream is now a luxury good. According to the New York Times, at Brown, the median student's family makes over $200,000 a year. Half the student body comes from the top 5% of earners. And research by Brown's own professor, John Friedman, shows that even equally qualified low-income students are vastly underrepresented. At this very moment, the American people are tightening their belts, and Brown is raising tuition to beyond $90,000 a year. And even while charging students the price of a luxury car, Brown is on track to run a $46 million deficit this year. Where's all the money going? I'll tell you where it's going. It's going into an empire of administrative bloat and bureaucracy. Brown employs 3,805 full-time non-instructional staff for just 7,229 undergrads. That's one administrator for every 2 students. This isn't education. This is bloat, paid for on the backs of students and families who are mortgaging their futures for a shot at a better life. Meanwhile, Grace Calhoun, Brown's athletic director, earns over $1 million. A household assistant on payroll tends to University President Christina Paxson. And when budget cuts are made, these expenses stay while the student experience deteriorates. My dorm floods when it rains, and the burger patties in our dining hall have been replaced by an unappetizing beef mushroom blend. The idea that Brown's administration can be streamlined isn't conjecture. We didn't used to have these many administrators.
Wow. That young man, and I'm in shock because I've been to a couple of Brown sporting events. What I'm talking about is that, with no disrespect, but the Ivy League sports program is not really major collegiate sports. And you're telling me the athletic director at Brown University makes $1 million a year? Wow. Back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Dan, line 3 in Manhattan. Dan, what's on your mind?
I just wanted to say the woman who lost her job with the mayor was 12 years old when she tweeted that information out. And this is a perfect example to show to the kids today, what you tweet today is going to come back and bite you when you go get a job 10, 15 years from now. And no one's mentioning that to these kids. This is a perfect example to tell them, watch what they say, because there's always going to be out there and it's going to come back and get you.
So wait a minute, Dan. So you're telling me that it's not a good idea for these young ladies to put on a thong and twerk in front of the camera and then put it on social media? Is that what you're telling me?
You can do whatever you want, but remember, there's always a consequence. 10, 15 years from now, someone's going to find that, and you will pay the price.
Right, and these young men holding weapons and smoking these blunts, these big marijuana cigarettes. I was being sarcastic, Dan. You're 1,000% correct.
No, I agree with you. I agree. What you do today will come back and bite you. And don't be playing that crying song, because we should be telling the kids today, here's what happened to this woman. She lost a great job in the city because of something she did when she was a teenager. And if you don't think it's going to come back and get you when you go for that job when you get out of college, and it surfaces that you got that big joint in your face, and the corporation is going to go, I can't hire this guy, and you just lost a 6-figure job, think, guys, this stuff never goes away.
Hey, Dan, do you think Mom Donnie really didn't know about this?
I would say no. I got to give the guy a chance. Listen, we lived through de Blasio twice. I'm hoping this guy is not as bad as de Blasio. I'm willing to give him 6 months and see where he goes. Maybe I'll be in a minority here, but I'm going to hope he tries to do something better.
Dan, he's not as bad as de Blasio. I'll acknowledge that. He's 1,000,000 times worse than de Blasio, Dan. Come on, Dan. Well, this guy is anti-Semitic.
We got to give him a shot.
No, we don't. Legally we do, but he's slicker than slick. And, you and I
can disagree with that, but you know what? He's the mayor. We give him 6 months and we see what happens. And here's the thing. In 4 years,
he's the mayor longer than 6 months.
Let him go.
Whether we like it or not, it's his city. It's his city now, whether we like it or not.
4 years, and then we get to vote. And you know what? Maybe in 4 years from now, if he destroys the city, all the Democratic voters that only know how to push that D level will wake up and say, you know what?
They won't.
Forget about the D column.
No, they won't.
Let's vote for the person. Well,
they won't. They won't. You know why? You know why? Let me tell you his re-election campaign now. I wanted to deliver for you, brother. I wanted to deliver for you, sister, but the man stopped me. But I'm telling you now, if I can get 4 more years, I can get you free. That's his re-election campaign. And the gullible voters will go, he's so cute, and vote for him again.
And he's a Democrat, and I only know how to push that D level. I live in New York my whole life. I'm a registered Democrat, and I laugh how many people push the D level without even doing research. He's a Democrat. I can't vote Republican. Until our mindset changes, the city will always be a Democrat, and we're going to live with the consequences that he's going to bring with us, so we'll see.
Well, Dan, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to line 1, Judith in Brooklyn. Judith, what's on your mind?
First First of all, if you run for mayor, I'm going to be right there backing you. I'll be right there helping you out. No nonsense, Mayor Dominic. Okay.
Hey, but wait. Hey, Judith, I don't know if you saw that Hollywood movie, I think it was called Batman, about Joe Clark, the principal at Patterson High School, when he had it with the gangbangers and he locked the doors and so on and walked around with a baseball bat all day long and they called him Batman. I wouldn't walk around with a bat, but basically that would be my attitude. And I'm telling you point blank, Judith, my motto, I wouldn't say this, but I probably would say it. My motto would be straight up to these kids. You act up, my police department's going to act up. If you think I'm playing, try me. Go ahead, Judith.
No nonsense. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. Let me just say something. Mandami is the leader of the pack of anti-Semites. Please. So you know what? Let him lead by example and let him fire himself. How about that? How stupid does this guy think we are? They're all a bunch of anti-Semites. He's back with Linda Sestor. He's back with this. He himself with his own words. He's a total anti-Semite. Now, she might have tweeted that at the age of 12, but let me tell you, she's probably still an anti-Semite. But he is the leader. Let him fire himself. That's what I'm thinking. Right?
Right. It would be wonderful,
Dominic,
but he's untouchable.
Well, you know what? Yeah, well, I'm being facetious. You know that. But you know something? Van Jones. Remember Van Jones?
Yes.
Early on, when President Obama became president, and there was rumors that he's a communist, and when Obama's a communist, by the way. So when it turns out Van Jones was a communist, he had to resign. Do you remember that? He had to resign. Now it's in vogue. I mean, now you be a communist. My goodness, you know, everyone's
it is in vogue.
Comrade that. Yes, it's terrible. But anyways, you know what? You become mayor. We're going to fix it all up, right?
Well, Judith, I'm being straight with you right now. I probably wouldn't do something like that, but I promise you that if I ran, I would clean New York up. I guarantee you two things. I would win if I ran. I would max out on raising the money, and I would clean up New York City. Period. End of story. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Dennis, line 3, New Jersey. Dennis, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Hey, Dominic, first I want to mention that 4 years ago, I told you should run for mayor. So I was first.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Now, and I believe that. Now what I want to say is, what are the chances are that Nick Reiner, the drugs that he was using, came from Venezuela, and he killed the man, he killed his father, and his father hated the man who's trying to stop drugs from coming into this country. Is that an irony, or is that an irony?
That's deep. Well, let me just say it's alleged that he did this, but that would be an irony. You know what, Dennis, I'll try and follow up on the backside. I'm late for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to the Towers Foundation, final thoughts on this Friday. If I did decide to do something like that, running for mayor, I'm telling you folks, I would run on a platform of restoring the street crimes unit of the NYPD. You have got to have a unit out there that's tougher and badder than the thugs. Yes, they have their hands tied, the street crimes unit, because they have laws that they must enforce. I would run on a platform of restoring the street crimes unit. And the moment that a certain civil rights leader came to me, who I've known for 30 years, and said, I shouldn't do a voice impersonation, never mind, because that'll give away who I'm talking about. And said this is racist, I would literally say, cut the bull, and I don't want to say the rest of it, and I would say, deal with it. It's a new day. Let's go back to your telephone call. Sandra, line 2 in New Jersey. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Oh, good afternoon, Mayor Carter. I really believe that it sounds right, it is right, and maybe we will have this happen. But I just wanted to share this incident with you, Mayor Carter. This man, 67 years old, lives in Pennsylvania, a retired doorman, loving community man, a dog dying of cancer at 8 years old, loving wife. He protected himself from a mugger. He had a revolver in his pocket, and this mugger was coming closer and closer, and he warned him to step away. He takes out his gun. He even points it to the ground, but the mugger decides to take this object very close to his neck. So
this is the man in Queens, that's about to go to jail?
Yes, I thought it was Pennsylvania, but yes.
Okay. I think I'm confusing them. Okay, you're correct. Go ahead.
Bottom line, he's going to jail for 4 years. Now, he had a plea bargain for 4 years. It would have been 25. Why is this man even going to jail, self-defense, when this other person has 15 priors? His name is Gonzalez. To me, Mayor Carter, this doesn't sit right with me. What about
that's an easy one to answer. If you turn down a plea bargain from prosecutors, they're going to nail you to the wall. Because the whole system is set up to move the cases through as fast as possible. And if you're a law-abiding citizen, right, and you decline a plea bargain and you lose at trial, good luck with that, because the judge is going to throw the book at you. Now, you won't get the maximum, but you are going to jail. And you said that the man represented himself. You know that old saying, Sandra, what is it? That the person that represents himself has a fool for a client. The courts, they don't take kindly to that, because if you're representing yourself, it's seen as wasting the court's time. They're going to have to slow down the process because meaning the person does not know what they're doing. And so if I were the man, I wouldn't have represented myself. But at the same time, if you've seen lawyer fees lately, then we all know how expensive they can be. So it shouldn't be that way, Sandra, but you know what time it is. If something is up these days with the left, they'll say it's down. If it's actually down, they'll say it's left. If it's right, they'll say point to up. So it's all backwards, it's all wrong, and it's dead wrong. Thank you for the call, Sandra. I'm still stuck on that athletic director at Brown University making $1 million a year. And what that young man testified to, that tuition at Brown is $93,000 a year. When my daughter went to Syracuse undergrad, the tuition was, I think it was $38,000 a year, maybe $40,000. And I thought I was going to have a heart attack at that type of fee. And now you're telling me that it's 3 times that? $90,000 for education where the cameras are not even in one of the academic buildings, or the cameras didn't pick it up. Whatever term you want to use. $90,000? You got to be kidding me. You have absolutely got to be kidding me. Folks, America's heroes need your help. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. I'm back Sunday night, 11 p.m. Have a great weekend.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.